over onto your back. I'm going to mute everybody. We'll take a moment to pause. Allow our body to settle into the position that we've chosen. Letting our breath slow down. Letting our breath moving deeper into our belly. Maybe even begin to feel our breath moving into the sides of our waist and our low back. Allowing our body to rest heavy into the floor. Noticing that with each and every breath, we begin to soften a little bit more. And let's very slowly begin to move into an all fours position. Taking our time. And from our all fours position, let's find our joints stacked, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And we're going to move through a few cat-cows. Inhaling, opening the front of our body, and exhaling, opening the back of our body. Continuing to move with breath. Allowing our breath to remain long, slow, and even. And then come back to a neutral spine. On our next inhale, let's extend our right arm forward, turning our thumb up. Feel our shoulder blade firm on our back. Turn our gaze forward as we feel our belly engage and stabilize. Releasing our right hand down, let's extend our left hand forward. Thumb points up. Heart extends forward a little bit, keeping the curve of our low back. And then lower down, right hand comes forward again. Make sure that we're not rotating our upper or mid back. And then lower down, left hand comes forward again. And lower down. This time, left foot comes back, press through our heel, keeping our hips level. And then lower down. Right foot, extend it back, press through our heel, keep our belly hugged in, keeping our hips level. And then release. Right hand forward, left foot back. And lower down. Left hand forward, right foot back. And lower down. Switch sides. And lower, and switch, and lower, and switch, and lower, and switch one more time, and lower. From here, let's sink our hips back towards our heels, walk our hands into a place that's comfortable for us. We can have a neutral spine. And then from here, we're gonna find some cat-cows. So on our next exhale, rounding our upper back. Inhale, open our heart. Exhaling, rounding our back. And inhale, open our heart. Exhaling, rounding. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Coming back to a neutral spine, left hand comes behind our ear. And then on our next inhale, let's draw our left shoulder back, opening up our chest to the left. Come back to center. And inhale, open again. Exhale, center. Inhale, open. Exhale, center. Inhale, open. Exhale, center. Left hand comes down. Right hand comes behind our head. Inhale, open our chest to the right. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, open to the right. Exhale, center. Couple more times. Inhaling, opening. Exhale, center. Inhale, open. Exhale, center. Right hand comes down. And then from here, let's crawl forward to the front of our mat. Keeping our knees behind us, we find kneeling plank. Lower all the way down to our bellies. Inhale, lift our chest, roll our shoulders back and down for cobra. Elbows hug in tight, toes reach back, tailbone presses down. Lower all the way down, hug our bellies in, press up and back, extended child pose. So let our hips reach back, but keep our elbows and our forehead lifted. Inhale, come forward, kneeling plank. Exhale, lower all the way down, broadening across our collarbones as we lower. Then inhale, rise back up, keeping your shoulder blades firm on your back. And then exhale, lower down and press back, extended child pose. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower down, broadening across our collarbones as we lower. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower and press back. Inhale, come back up, kneeling plank. Exhale, broaden across our collarbones, lower down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, press back. Holding, letting our forehead and our elbows come down this time. From here, lift our head, lift our elbows, walk our hands over to the left. Maybe walk your right hand over a little bit further than your left. Keeping our shoulders level, we're lengthening the right side of our body. Taking a moment to hold and breathe. Slowly walk our hands over to the right. And again, maybe taking the left hand a little bit further over than the right, if that feels okay for you. Make sure your shoulders are level. Feeling length to the left side of our body. Finding our breath long, slow, and even. And slowly walk our hands to center. From here, we're going to come back to kneeling plank. Curl our toes under, lift our knees, downward facing dog. Take a moment to pedal out our feet, pressing one heel down to the floor at a time. And then walk forward, front of our mat. Folding. Inhale, lift halfway. Find a flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend our knees a lot. Find the strength of our legs. Roll our shoulders back and down, then sweep our arms out to the side. Feel the strength of your back as you rise up, and then hands come to heart center. Inhale, sweep our hands up. Exhale, fold. Let our head hang, neck and shoulders relax. Bend our knees. Turn our gaze forward. Roll our shoulders back and down. So you're feeling your upper back engaged. Using the strength of your legs, we're going to bring our arms out and then stand up. Hands come to heart center or hips sink back into chair. Inhale, sweep our hands up. Exhale, fold. Letting our head hang, neck and shoulders relax. Bending our knees again, lower our hips down. Lengthen across our belly. Draw our arms out to the side, feel your shoulder blades firm on your back. Rise up tall. Hands come to heart center or chair, sink our hips back. Inhale, sweep our hands up. Exhale, fold. Let our head hang, neck and shoulders relax. Lower our knees down to the mat, one at a time. And then from here, we're going to come up onto our knees, finding our shoulders over our hips, find length through our spine. And we're going to take our right foot out to the side, turning our knee out and our toes out. So we're opening through our hips. Now from here, we're going to take our right hand to our right knee, take our left hand, reach it up to the ceiling, and then I want you to slowly lean to the right, maybe lowering our elbow down. Turn our gaze to the left so that you feel your left shoulder opening and you can see past the inside of our arm. Slowly rise up, left hand comes down, right knee comes down to the floor, left foot comes out wide. Now if you need more cushion for your knees, if you have a towel, place it underneath your knees, because we're going to be moving back and forth through these positions. Left hand comes to your knee. Your hips are remaining open and square to the front of your mat. Where your left leg lands is what honors you. Take our right hand, reach it up to the ceiling. Then slowly lean over to the left. Maybe your elbow comes down to your leg, maybe it doesn't. Feel your chest rotate open. So the tendency is to draw the right shoulder forward. See if you can draw it back and let your gaze come to the inside of your arm. Holding and breathing. And slowly rise up. Right hand comes down, left knee comes down, right foot comes back out to the side. This time we're going to straighten our right leg to what feels good for us. Make sure you keep that micro bend in your knee. And now you're lengthening a little bit through the inner thigh. Left hand comes up to the ceiling. Slowly lean over to the right. Make sure you're not pushing into your knee. And again, rotate your upper body to the left so that you're bringing your body into alignment. Holding and breathing. Again, micro bend in your right knee. We want to make sure we're not locking out that knee. Rise back up. Left hand comes down. Bend your right knee. Let your right knee come down. Left foot comes out to the side. Hips stay open to the front of your mat. Then lengthen your left leg. Keep a micro bend in your knee. Right hand comes up. Lean over to the left. Gaze comes to the right. Long, slow, even breath. Rise back up. Right hand comes down. Bend your left leg. Lower your left knee down to the mat. Right leg comes back out to the side. This time we're going to extend our leg forward and then rotate our leg so that our knee points forward towards the front of our mat. Take our left hand, reach it up to the ceiling. Right hand's going to come to our hip. I want you to encourage your hip to relax down. Then lean over to the right. Slowly rise up. Left hand comes down to your side. Walk your right foot in. Right knee comes down. Left foot comes out to the side. Toes point towards the front of your mat. Left hand's going to come to your hip. You're encouraging your hip to relax down. Right hand comes up. Lean over to the left. Slowly rise back up. Right hand comes down. Left foot walks in. Left knee comes down. We're going to stay on our knees for a minute. Inhale, sweep our hands up. Exhale, fold from our hips. We're going to take our hands down to the floor, lower all the way down. Inhale, rise up, grab a seat on your heels, sweep our hands up to the ceiling. Exhale, press our hips forward as our hands come to heart center. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, grab a seat on our heels. Sweeping our hands up. Exhale, press our hips forward. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, grab a seat on our heels. Sweeping our hands up. Exhale, press our hips forward. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Grab a seat on our heels. From here, we're going to let our hands rest in our lap. Step our left foot forward. So we have knees over the top of our ankle, hips over our knee. Left hand's going to stay on our leg, and we're going to slide it to the inside of our knee. Sweep our right hand up to the ceiling. Rotate our upper body to the right. Use your left hand on the inside of your leg to keep your knee out. Then right hand comes back, either down to a block, hand to your glute, or hand to your heel. Lengthen across our belly, open up our heart. Option to take our left hand up to the ceiling. Long, slow, even breath. Feel the back of our heart strong, stable. As our chest lifts, as we lengthen across the belly, as we press our hips forward to a place that's comfortable for us. And then from here, draw your hips back towards your heel a little bit. Cartwheel our hands up, right hand comes down to the floor. Curl our back toes under, lift our knee, and lengthen through our spine a little bit more. Draw your heel, find as much length through the body as you can. Then rotate to the left, keeping your hips level. Option to send our left hand up to the ceiling. Hips don't move, we're just finding rotation through upper mid-back. Left hand comes down to the mat, right knee comes down, left knee steps back, walk your hands back to your knees and rise up. Right foot steps forward. Knee over the top of your ankle, hips over your back knee. Right hand to your leg, slide it into the inside of your knee. Left hand, sweep it up. Rotate to the left, take your left hand back. Tuck your tailbone a little bit, lengthen across your belly. You're gonna lean back, hand comes to your glute, a block, or your heel. Keep lengthening across your belly, opening up your heart. Option to extend your right hand up. Keeping that tailbone tucked the same way you would if you were in cobra. Find your breath. Then draw your belly in. Cartwheel your hands down. Left hand comes to the floor, right hand to your knee. Curl your back toes under. Lift your knee, press your heel back. Lengthen through your spine. Then rotate to the right. Option to extend your right hand up. Lowering your left knee down, right hand comes down, right foot comes back, child's pose, sinking your hips back. Letting your head relax down. On our next inhale, come up, lower all the way down to our belly. Slide our hands underneath our forehead. And then we're going to slide our right knee out to the side. And you can bring your knee up as high as your hip, but no further. Walk your knee away from you so that your right hip can come down towards the mat. And if you're on a hard surface, make sure that your knee is comfortable. So you can either place a towel underneath your knee, or you can scoot over to the left so that your right knee remains on your mat. Let your foot relax, let your ankle relax. Let this be all about your right hip. And the goal here is to learn to acknowledge where you're at in your body, not force yourself to move into the hardest version of the pose that you can. And for many of us, that can be our biggest challenge. As your hip begins to relax, your right hip's going to move closer to the floor and your knee's going to move away from your body. Let your hands stay rested underneath your forehead. Soften your neck, your shoulders, your upper back. And if and when it feels right for you, you can come up to cobra through your upper body or sphinx pose, shoulders over your elbows. Remember, in whichever version you're choosing, we're looking for that gradual curve through our back, no sharp, strong hinges. And our breath lengthen. When you're ready, lower down onto your hands again, letting your forehead come down. Slide your right foot back, bending your right leg. Then we're going to lower or draw our left knee out to the side. And again, just a variation that feels good for your body. Meeting ourselves where we're at, so that with patience and guidance from our own thoughts, we can become more intuitive to where our body's at, and we can move more mindfully. Notice with each exhale, our body begins to soften. Allow ourselves to make the changes to settle deeper into the pose. What that looks and feels like is different for us all. If and when you're ready, you can come up to Cobra or Sphinx pose. Looking for the gradual curve of our spine. And slowly lower all the way down. Slide our left knee back. And walk our hands around to the side of our chest. Hug our bellies in. Press up and back. Child's pose. From the pose of a child, round our back, squeeze our knees together, rise up slowly. Coming to an all fours position in the center of our mat. From our all fours position, we're going to walk our right knee forward and the midline of our body. So we're drawing it in. Then take our right foot over the top of our left knee. So you're starting to move into external rotation through your right leg. Knee stays directly underneath your spine. Curl your left toes under, lift your knee, and slide your left foot back until you feel a stretch on the outer right hip. When you have arrived, knee comes down, and then drive your left hip down to the floor. You'll find you'll move a little bit deeper into the stretch. Then from here, if you want less of a stretch, walk your hands towards your hip. If you want more of a stretch, walk your hands forward, maybe lower your elbows down to the floor. We're still driving the left hip down to keep the hips level. So when the right hip is really tight, your right hip's going to want to come down and your left hip lift. You want to keep it up, pressing your left hip down. Your right heel should be right about your left hip, depending on where you are in this position. Knee is attempting to stay in to the midline of our body as much as comfortable for us. Hips are staying level. And listen to the other areas of our body as a hint or a cue for where you are in space. You'll notice subtleties like your left leg will roll out, maybe your heels in and your toes out. That's a sign that you're rolling to your right side. Maybe roll that leg in. Doesn't necessarily mean that's what's going on, but that could be what's going on. So just listening. Notice if you roll the hip down to the floor, your right hip, or if you lower your left hip down to your foot. Notice where your spine is at, the length of your waist. All of those are hints or cues about where you are in your body. If there's pain at your SI joint where your hips meet your spine in the back of your hips, back off this stretch. It might be too much for you right now. And to back out of this pose, we come up onto hands first. Then hug our bellies in, curl our back toes under, inch our left knee forward. Walk our hands forward. We're coming back to that all fours position. So setting up for that first, then unwind your right leg. Draw your left knee in, cross your left knee over your right. Just place your knee in the center of your body. Then curl your right toes under, slide your right foot back, keeping your knee at the midline of your body the best you can. It's not going to be perfect. Keep your right hip down, and then lower down to what feels good for you. Maybe that's just keeping your hands on the floor today. This side might be different than the other. Making sure your hips are level. If that means your left knee needs to come out a little bit, that's okay. This is all about meeting ourselves where we are. Giving ourselves permission to be in the shape that we are. Allowing our breath to slow down, to encourage the opportunity of relaxation and letting go. Even if we feel relaxed already, it doesn't mean that our muscles and our body are not prepared for flight. Again, you should be feeling the stretch of the outer left hip through the glutes, which are attached to your SI joint. So if you're feeling tension there, know that that might be too much of a stretch for you in this moment. So maybe you need to come up a little bit. Very slowly come back up onto hands. Curling our back toes under, inch our knee forward. Walk our hands forward as we continue to inch our knee in. And then unwind our left leg. Take our knees out, hip width distance apart. Joints are stacked. We're going to rock our hips side to side, letting our shoulders move in the opposite direction. Just finding some movement through our hips, keeping our spine neutral. And then bringing our hips back to center, let's crawl forward in front of our mat. We're going to set up for Shavasana. So if you'd like to place anything underneath your knees or underneath your back to help support your version of final relaxation, feel free to do so. And when you're ready, hands come back, lower all the way down, arms come out, palms facing up, bend your legs. Feet can be wide, they could be narrow, whatever feels right for you. And then closing our eyes, giving ourselves permission to settle into the mat. To settle into the position that we've created. Take a moment to notice how we feel. And allow our breath to deepen. Inviting energy back into our body. Inviting movement into our hands and our feet. Allowing that movement to spread into our wrists and our ankles. Bending our knees. Slowly roll to our right side. Keeping our eyes closed, pressing ourselves up. Finding our way back to a comfortable seat. When we arrive at that comfortable seat, we'll rise up tall through our spine. Let our shoulders soften back and down. Slowly tuck our chin. Letting our head relax forward. Keeping our movement passive, let's turn our chin to the right. Slowly lift our left ear up. Rotate our chin up and over to the left. Gently pull our right ear down. Slide our head back to center. Turn our chin back to the left. Lift our right ear up. Slowly turn our chin up and over to the right. And gently bring our left ear down. Turning our chin back to center, lift our head up. Bring our hands together in front of our heart. Feeling in all that we found in this practice today of movement, of recognizing our body, of meeting ourselves where we're at, and allowing ourselves permission to soften or let go into areas that we need. Taking all of that as a gift that we can take off of our mat as we interact with others and we move within our body, doing the things that we enjoy doing. Namaste.